Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kelly Youngman and I'm here to talk all things wellness. So today's topic is going to be a little bit different. Today we are talking about money. Now I know at first it might seem like, well, what does money have to do with wellness? That has nothing to do with my nutrition or my eating habits or my exercise. All of those things seem sort of separate from money. Money seems like its own thing. And yes, I think in many ways money is its own thing, but it is directly connected to all of the other areas of our wellness. For instance, our mindset, our nutrition, our diet, all of those things are supported by money. And money also gives us that sense of security, that sense of stability. And all of those emotions directly tie back to our wellness and how we feel every day. So money can be its own thing, but it's totally relevant to our wellness. Now, I'm just going to be completely transparent, and I think many of you know this because obviously I'm a performer, things have been shut down, especially in COVID situations. Like, it's been probably a little stressful for a lot of people just in terms of income changing and the sense of opportunities available. All of those things have been affected by the coronavirus, and I know that if you're a performer, you're probably feeling some of those things as well. However, I wanted to talk a little bit about money mindset because even though the circumstances have changed slightly, there is still so much room to find the vibration of abundance and start working on your abundance mentality so that when things get back to normal or some semblance of what we think normal is, we will be moving forward with confidence and ease and preparedness. So, money mindset really goes back to this idea of, well, how do I feel? What is my relationship to money? And I know that's something you probably don't think about on the regular basis, but we have a relationship with money just like we have a relationship with our friends or our family or anything else in our life. Because we're dealing with it on an everyday basis, we're either used to having plenty of money, not enough money, we either trust it, we're afraid of it. There's a lot to unpack about money. And I think especially in this current situation with coronavirus and jobs and opportunities being different, I think that we tend to align more easily with that sense of lack, that sense of loss, that sense of not having. So how can we manage this right now as we move forward into the new year? Well, first of all, like I said, your money mindset is huge. How you're feeling about money is going to make a huge impact on what shows up and also just how you feel. Like that feeling of,
Oh my gosh, I do not have enough money. I don't have enough money. How am I going to afford this?
That holds us in a place of fear, and that fear keeps that momentum going towards lack. And again, I get it. Times are different right now and our income has changed. All of those things, when we look at it on paper, are significantly different. So I am right there with you and I empathize for that sense of loss and that frustration. Because like you, I've been out of work since January. And again, as a performer, that's kind of normal because I was auditioning January through March and I had work lined up. Like, that's just kind of the nature of being a performer or being in a line of work that is sort of contract to contract. Maybe you're a freelancer and you definitely relate to this. So how do we find that sense of stability even when everything around us is changing very often and rapidly? We have to focus on that sense of abundance. We have to focus on the feeling of stability, security, and having enough. And now, those things might not feel 100% true about the subject of money. However, there's many ways to tap into abundance without it being literally looking at your bank account and seeing $1 million. However, when you think about the things that you do have, and even if you look back on the past year, you might have not had as much as before, and maybe things have been different, and you have had to be a little bit more resourceful or a little bit more intentional about your spending. But if you're watching this video, I feel like it's safe to say that you at least have the resources to be watching this video. You at least have somewhere to sleep, somewhere to take a shower and a hot bath, and a place to rest your head at night. So those feelings of abundance and security and wealth can come from other places aside from just focusing on money.
Is this sort of making sense? I hope so.
So that is one way you can start working on your money mindset as we head into the new year. Just being aware of, are you focusing on lack or are you focusing on abundance? Because when you feel abundant, when you are in alignment with abundance, more abundance can flow to you. And again, I know if you're like,
Kelly, I'm looking at my bank account and I am not rolling in the dough.
that is okay. Because the more you just get used to saying, I am in the process of attracting more abundance. I am easily allowing money to flow to me. Money is an unlimited resource. The more you get used to that mindset and the idea that money is unlimited, things are going to start feeling different and things are going to start flowing differently. And I know it might sound crazy. You might be like, wow, this girl's really lost it. She has no idea what I'm going through. But I have been there, friend. I graduated college with more than $100,000 in debt. And I used to feel like I was drowning all the time. And it wasn't until recently where I took like tons and tons of personal finance courses. I sat through like hours of every course the Actors Fund offers. And I learned that money doesn't have to be difficult. I've read so many books, and the more I just softened my beliefs about money and the more I started accepting that money could be easy and that I didn't have to believe that it was constricting and tight and that it was running out, the more I just started reminding myself that I always have more than enough. That sense of stability made me able to relax and see different opportunities that I might not have noticed. And money really is not the way we perceive it. We grew up with so many money beliefs, so many. And a lot of them are inherited just from our family, our friends, the way we're raised, our communities. But it doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to feel scary. And yes, there are budgeting techniques that you can do to make sure that you're being mindful. But even with all the budgeting apps, all of the everything, if you're focused on that sense of lack, I never have enough, I have to keep saving, I have to keep holding it tight, that is also not allowing the abundance to flow. So one way that you can keep improving your financial situation even now is by working on your money mindset. The other thing I want to mention is that, yes, check in with yourself. Check in with what you're spending your money on. Are you being intentional? Are those purchases going towards things that you really enjoy and that add value? And yeah, maybe it's just for pleasure and you can spend money for pleasure and, treat yourself to something. But you also want to make sure that you're treating yourself to a solid financial future. And you do that by also investing in your future self and investing in the things that are going to get you closer to what you really want. So maybe it's not instant satisfaction in the way like you go to the store, you buy something, you get it. But it's giving yourself the knowing that you are setting yourself up for success and your future self is just as valuable as your current self. So there is so much more we can get into about money, but I just want to start planting the seeds that even in this situation, you have access to the feeling of abundance, which is gonna make you feel so much better and allow money to flow to you more easily. I know, like you, I have been out of work for a long time, but in those days that I start feeling stressed or worried about money, I just remind myself, I have more than enough. I am abundant. I have plenty of money. Things always work out for me. I always have plenty of money. I always have more than enough to cover my bills, my expenses, and my happiness. And I just repeat this to myself over and over. And time again, there's months that if you looked at my bank statements, you'd be like, this girl's crazy. Like, how did that even work out? But I'm telling you. But I promise, once you start thinking about money differently, everything will change and your relationship with money will change and you'll be able to trust it and it will come more easily and more readily because you're not afraid of losing it. You're not afraid of it not showing up. Yeah, I'm excited to start talking about this more in the new year. However, I just want to remind you that now is the perfect time to start working on your money mindset for the new year so that you can finally tap into that abundance that is totally and 100% yours. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions about this or you want to hear more, leave a comment below or send me an email at hello@kellyyoungmanwellness.com. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about this more in the future, but I want you to start working on it now and finding that wealth mindset, that abundance mindset, and that knowing that everything you want is already yours. So thanks for joining me. I hope this helps and have a happy holidays. I will see you back next week for another video. Bye.